Thank you, Mr. Haggerty. It was once said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and I spent countless hours deciding on a single word that I would use to begin this speech. I thought about an overused quote or a comment about how hard it was for me to write this introduction. I guess I just did both of those, so I might as well just start talking. Tonight is about many people. For the students present here today, you may think that this evening is all about you, and you'd be partially correct in thinking so. Congratulations. You are here because of your dedication to the academic aspect of your Mount Carmel experience. To the freshmen, recognize that this is a bright beginning to the next 4 years of your time here. To the sophomores, I applaud your continued dedication to your studies. Juniors, take tonight to reflect on the successes of such a pivotal year, the ACT, another year of classes with the introduction of AP courses, and the further discernment of your future goals and aspirations. And finally, to the class of 2016, congratulations, we've made it. We have climbed Mount Carmel, whether metaphorically, as we heard, at Expedition MC, or literally, in the countless flights of stairs. You've struggled and worked at it, as have I, but whether or not we've become a man could be up for debate. While tonight is a night to honor the academic prowess of our students, there are many more people who must be recognized. I would like to take a moment to thank each and every person who has made a Mount Carmel education possible, whether family, extended family, friends, or even complete strangers through scholarship funds. Every student in this room, every person in this room, knows that a Mount Carmel education is not possible without sacrifice. The sacrifice is not only financial, as many of us know. Whether it was rides to the bus stop before the sun rose, packing a lunch every day, or staying up late just to make sure you had your homework done. Coming to Mount Carmel is a deliberate choice that entails sacrifice. I'm sure many of the parents here just enjoyed immensely waking up before the sun rose to make sure their son was getting dressed and getting ready to go to school. I'm sure they loved taking time out of their day to pick you up from the activity bus. And though I never played football, I'm sure the football moms loved waking up to go to Caravan Tough workouts. Sacrifice is not just financial here, and we all know that. So tonight, please take a moment to thank those who have helped you get to where you are today. Reach out to anyone who's made Mount Carmel possible for you. Gratitude is not lost on anyone, and I guarantee that your thanks will be much appreciated. This evening, I would also like to turn our attention to the faculty and staff of Mount Carmel High School, who all contribute in their own ways to the lives of others both inside the classroom and out. They serve not only as teachers, but colleagues, coaches, counselors, confidants, and mentors. I especially want to recognize both Mr. Taylor and Father Tony, who are moving on from Mount Carmel at the conclusion of this year to the next chapter of their lives. In his countless years at Mount Carmel, Mr. Taylor has served the students well as an educator and as a friend. Father Tony, in his 5 years here, has contributed to Mount Carmel's 116-year mission of educating young men in the Carmelite Catholic tradition. I believe I speak for all of us in the community, and I say thank you for your service and your dedication. And while tonight is a time for celebration, we also must take a moment to remember those who we've lost along the way. In March of 2015, we lost Mr. Hansen, a beloved man to whom the title teacher does little justice. Mr. Hansen was Mount Carmel. He embodied every aspect of what this school stands for, even if he himself was a JCA Hilltopper. Everyone at Mount Carmel has a Mr. Hansen story, and I remember mine vividly. Mr. Hansen was accompanying several of us, along with Mr. Sweeney, on a field trip downtown. We were going to a conference hosted by the Anti-Defamation League, a long-standing organization originally founded to help protect the Jewish people. During the course of the commute on a Mount Carmel white bus, which lasted no longer than 20 minutes, Mr. Hansen proceeded to engage in a heated argument with the bus driver over the use of seatbelts on the bus. He repeatedly posed the question, well, if there are seatbelts, why aren't we using them? Of course, we thought it was funny and trivial, but I know now that Mr. Hansen was only looking out for the best of every single student here at Mount Carmel. This past year, we also lost junior Kevin Zubek in a shocking turn of events. I remember waking up in the morning of October 8th, my 18th birthday, the countless text messages, a mix of celebration and grief. I don't remember much about my commute. I just remember making it there to spend time with my brothers and the faculty at Mount Carmel. It's hard to express how school felt in those days that followed. Kevin's presence was known, but we pressed on. Every day, I see students keep the memory of Kevin Zubek alive. Kevin is not remembered with sadness anymore, but with joy, much like the very joy that he brought to the school each and every day. Finally, I would like to recognize one more fallen member of the Mount Carmel family, Mr. Kurt Ehrenstrom, our coachee. I do not exaggerate in saying that, along with Doc Barry, Coach E was the reason I decided to come to Mount Carmel. I shadowed a senior, curious to see what my future would be like in 4 years at Mount Carmel. Sitting in a Coach E's senior physics class, I knew that this exactly was where I needed to be. There was something in the way he taught that I knew I would never find in any other institution. If there ever was a man who embodied tough love, it was Coach E. One common thread in all these men can be described with one single word: zeal. I know that there may have been a collective groan and an eye roll, but zeal isn't simply a buzzword at Mount Carmel. This school brings truly amazing people together, and these three men are shining examples of what it means to be zealous in all that one does. Finally, I would like to recognize one last group of people, the students that do not join us here tonight. During my junior year, I had a conversation with a classmate of mine that culminated in my thinking that the academic achievements that we've received tonight, they're not the end-all be-all. The people here tonight who are being honored are not the only people here at Mount Carmel. In our senior class alone, we have young men who will serve our country in the armed forces, men who will enter the trades, men who may not go to college or may not finish college, and will be successful in their own right. Academics are extremely important, but in 4 years, I've realized that they are not a determination of a bright future. What is important is the actions you take towards your goals, no matter how big or small. If you ask me about the most valuable thing I learned at Mount Carmel, it wouldn't be anything from a textbook. It wasn't sentence diagramming. Sorry, Coach Antonetti. It wasn't Latin. Apologies to both Mr. Sweeney and Doc. And it most certainly has nothing to do with math. I'd apologize to Ms. Smola, but I'm sure she saw that one coming. The most important lesson I learned at Mount Carmel is that we are the biggest influencers in our lives. When life gets hard, it is only ourselves that can pull us up. This revelation did not come without its challenges. There have been many a morning when the 30-mile drive to school was not high on my priority list, and I can't count the number of times a razor didn't make it to my face, much like tonight. However, we persevered. I got in that car and drove. I took the time to shave or spent it in detention. And now, I stand before you today as a young man who's made it to the end. And yes, it's as sweet as you imagined it to be. However, don't be so quick to rush to the finish line. High school is a marathon, not a sprint. Also, it's full of cliches, just like that one. Enjoy every moment of your time here, because there will be no other time quite like high school. Much like the beginning, I didn't really know how to end this, so I could wrap this up like a 5-paragraph essay, which, by the way, is the saving grace of any clueless high school writer. I could drop another overused quote to close it, but I think I've surpassed my quota for cliches tonight. I think short and sweet is the best way to end it. Remember that Mount Carmel is not just a high school. Remember that our time here is precious. This is not a collection of students and teachers battling in the mortal combat with the end goal of education. Mount Carmel is a living, breathing community with countless people involved who contribute in their own unique ways. And tonight is just one night where we can give back and thank those who help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Success. Some view it as how much material one has obtained, while others see it as how many things they have acquired. I don't see it this way. I see it as how well I have learned from my failures. I don't dedicate all of my success to myself, though, but to all of those who have failed and have learned from their failures. Their advice and wisdom has allowed me to be where I am today, and I'm here to do the same. I'm going to pay it forward to all of you and shed some wisdom so that you don't have to fail like I have. As a freshman at Mount Carmel, I was a very nervous and shy person. I kept to myself and didn't talk to many people. I was involved with things at school, but not to the point of satisfaction. I could have done more to help break out of my shell and to get to know more people. Because of this, further mistakes and problems developed in high school. When sophomore year swung around, I had a little issue. I had a serious fear of public speaking. This fear was greatly exemplified during a presentation I gave in chemistry. I had to present a report on a chemist to the whole class, and I knew about my fear. So to prepare, I rehearsed my lines over and over. When I started, I completely stressed out. Not only did I have a demanding teacher grading me, but I also had 23 other pairs of eyes staring me down. I stuttered through every single word, and I eventually froze. I was so embarrassed that I just skipped to the end and called it quits. I never wanted this to happen to me again, so I pushed myself for the next 2 years to get over my fear. I took every single opportunity to speak in front of my class whenever I could. I eventually pushed myself to read 2 speeches in front of the whole school. With this fear crushed, I was able to make junior and senior year a whole lot smoother. You may be asking what my motivation is. Well, my motivation is my mom and my grandparents. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here today. My grandparents, they lived on an extremely poor farm in Mexico. It obviously wasn't the best living condition, and they wanted something better for their kids. So my grandpa, he came to America and intensely worked hard to get the rest of my family here. He sacrificed his whole life for something better. While he was working the fields, my grandma cared for my aunts and uncles, which wasn't easy because there were 6 of them at the time. Now, after some time in America, they opened up a restaurant where the whole family worked. My mom, she hated it, so she intensely worked hard to get through it so that she can get herself through college. When Jacob, my younger brother, and I came around, she pushed herself through 2 to 3 jobs at a time to make sure that we went through private schooling, since education is really the only way to get somewhere in this world. She sacrificed her whole life to be the best mom she could possibly be. They sacrificed so much in order for my brothers and me to have a better life. Now it's my turn to show them that their sacrifice is worth it. They didn't just waste their time struggling for nothing. Their hard work has truly paid off. I mean, look, within 2 generations, my family was able to move from an extremely poor farm in Mexico to me getting a full tuition scholarship to an Ivy League institution. If they didn't make those sacrifices, we would still be on that poor farm. So Mom, thank you for everything. I will forever love you. Another part of my motivation is the desire to change society's view of immigrants. Immigrants are not trying to cause harm, but are only looking for a better life, the way we all do. We were all immigrants once. Whether we are Latino, African, Asian, or European, we all came to this country as immigrants. So I believe my success is helping to bring awareness that immigrants are not stupid people looking to steal jobs. We are all human with the goal of a better life. For me, this means being able to be the valedictorian at a private Catholic school. And with that, I'd like to thank a number of people for helping me on my journey. I would like to start off with my classmates, my brothers. for making our experience one of a kind. Without each and every one of us, nothing would be the same. I'd like to thank the teachers for constantly pushing me in and out of the classroom and for being there when I needed them most. I would like to thank the counselors for helping me keep myself straight academically, for helping me get my scholarship, and for just being awesome people in general. I would like to thank the rest of the administration for helping me in every way possible, from keeping Mount Carmel kids safe, to making Mount Carmel run smoothly, to helping me attend the University of Chicago classes, and much, much more. As in anything, I love to save the best for last. So I want to thank the parents and families of all the Carmel students, because I know that you have all made heavy sacrifices to send your sons to Mount Carmel. And we appreciate it, even when it seems like we don't. Thank you to all. Before I close, I would like to shed the advice and wisdom for each grade that I promised at the beginning of my speech. So let's begin. Beloved freshmen, you're almost done with your first year of high school. It should have been a blast. Like I said earlier, I wasn't as involved as I should have been, and you might be on the same boat. So my advice would be to try something new next year. Try a sport, join a club, do something to be active. Throw yourself at Mount Carmel and see what it gives back to you. I did, and I think it turned out pretty well. Sophomores, you're basically halfway done. If you were like me, you need to crush your fears and find your motivation to push yourself. With this motivation, you can do anything. Juniors, you're right there. After this year, it's just a straight away to the finish line. Even though it seems close, it really isn't. You still have work to do, and I'm being honest, don't fall off track with senioritis. It's going to get tough, but keep going. Don't give up. Seniors, we're only 3 weeks, 2 days, 20 hours, and about 24 minutes away. We're basically done. It's time to start a new chapter in our lives, college. It's going to be a ton of fun, but keep yourself straight. I see so much talent and potential in our grade, and it would be terrible to throw it all away for mistakes made in college. It's going to be fun, but stay safe, and keep your life goals on track. And a final word of advice for all, from the wise words of Confucius: choose a job that you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Thank you.